Brilliant. Welcome everybody to this week's Menopause Matters Live. And this week I am going to be talking about aging, or rather anti-aging. Now, I'm going to be looking at two cameras because I'm streaming on Instagram and Facebook. So if I'm looking away from the camera, that's why. So for those who don't know me, welcome. I am Vanessa, the menopause specialist, and I'm a certified nutritional therapist, and I specialize in helping women who are struggling with symptoms like fatigue and a slowing down metabolism, brain fog, low moods, loss of motivation. And today I'm talking about aging, or rather anti-aging. In my program, Revitalize Your Menopause, we don't have a module that is about aging or anti-aging as such. But we do all the things that I'm going to talk about today, because anti-aging isn't just about having younger looking skin. It goes hand in hand with health and longevity, because everything that you do to improve your skin, especially from the inside out, is going to be beneficial for your whole body, not just for your skin and how young you look. Obviously, that's an added bonus, and it's something that we're all of us want. But it's not, you don't just treat the skin. If you're trying to do that from the outside in, you'll have some results, but you're not going to have as good results as if you do it from the inside out. Before we get started, wherever you're watching or listening to this, please do remember to like and share and follow me. If you follow, you will get alerted whenever I do these lives, but also please do share for anybody else that would be interested, and give it a like to let me know that you are finding this information interesting, that it's the sort of things you want me to share, so that I know, and I will continue to do so and come up with new topics each week. So let's get right into it. And what I'm sharing today is, it's research backed and it's proven to help you look and feel younger. And you're going to learn not just about how to improve your skin and your glow, but also what we're going to be talking about will also help to improve energy levels as well. But first, let me be really clear. I'm not saying aging is a bad thing. Okay, I actually think aging is an amazing thing. It's a privilege to be able to age. And for me, it's a time that I have grown in confidence. I don't give many F's anymore about what other people think like I used to. I'm getting closer to the point where I'm hopefully not going to have periods anymore, which is a big win. My son has grown up, so if you're in that stage as well, then that's a big win. He just turned 18 about a week ago, and I think that aging is wonderful. It's not something that it's not a negative thing. But what is not cool is having a body that feels like crap, skin that looks like crap, no energy, sagging skin, not feeling like a 50-year-old or whatever age you are should. And that's what this is about. It's not about being, we're not anti-aging, but we want to look and feel as good as we can for as long as we can. So let's dig into these secrets that I have talked about. And most of these aren't going to be brand new things that you have never heard of before. I'm not going to make promises like that. But what I want you to ask yourself is, are you actually doing them? Are you doing these simple things that make such a difference to how well your body ages or doesn't? So first off, we're talking about number one, hydration, drinking water. It's such a simple thing, and so many don't do it as much as they need to. I often get asked, well, how much water am I supposed to be drinking? And actually, there is a calculation you can do. You can search it on the internet, and it'll tell you how to do, there's a pretty basic calculation that will tell you how much you need for your body weight. But I think it's much easier to just aim for 2 litres of water a day. It's got to be filtered water, though. You cannot be drinking tap water. If you're drinking tap water, then I'm afraid you are drinking a whole host of toxins, and you are going to be consuming those, and they are going to be wreaking havoc on your body. Tap water, even in the UK, is full of heavy metals, chlorine. Some places they put fluoride in it. It is not good to drink tap water. So that's the first thing. I will share the link to the filter that I use, and it's the one I recommend to all my clients, in the description or in the comments, excuse me, when I finish. And I will give you my discount code, which you can use to get 10% off it if you want to try it. It's an inexpensive, the actual jug or whatever you choose. The filters are not cheap, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than bottled water. And you shouldn't be drinking plastic bottled water anyway, because that leaches plastic into the water. So if you're going to drink bottled water, it needs to be glass bottles, and it's very expensive. This is a much cheaper way of doing it, and I think it's much better. You must also remineralize the water, because water is it needs to have a good balance of minerals in it for it to be refreshing and hydrating. And especially when you filter the water with the filter that I use, it does take out all the minerals too. So you do need to put some minerals back in. You can do it very simply with a good quality sea salt. And that, my friends, will make such a difference to your hydration. So many people say to me they can't believe when they start to salt their water with proper good quality sea salt. It should be grey, it should be untreated. They notice how much more hydrated they feel than when they don't drink it. Even my son said to me recently, my goodness, I really feel like the difference when I drink, water with some salt in. So that's the first thing, is water. The second, another obvious one, avoiding the sun on your face and not baking your body either. Now, I am not one for supplementing loads of vitamin D. In fact, I don't really like people supplementing vitamin D unless they have tested their minerals and they know that they don't have an issue with calcium, because vitamin D increases the absorption of calcium from the digestive tract, causes all sorts of problems, is one of the big contributors to women's metabolism slowing down. But that's a whole nother topic. But vitamin D, the best source, it's a hormone, it's not actually a vitamin, is from the sun through the skin. And so I think that, we shouldn't be avoiding the sun. Absolutely not. And we should not be caking ourselves in sun cream. We should be, when we've got sun, obviously at the moment we don't. I don't know what's happened to the weather, but it's been absolutely atrocious recently. But when we do have sun, getting out in it for 20 minutes a day on your body, brilliant. But on your face, no. It is not a good idea to have, because the skin on the face is so much finer and so much more prone to wrinkling. We shouldn't be baking our bodies in the sun either. You can get a fabulous tan by using no sun cream and just doing 20 minutes a day. Much better, much more gradual, much safer. You're getting your vitamin D rather than baking yourself in the sun with factor 30. Much more aging, much more problematic. But on the face, we don't want to be getting loads of sun. So it's either hats or it's got to be a sunscreen. Now, most sunscreens are chemical. They have lots of very badly hormone disrupting chemicals. Especially for women, but for boys as well, for men as well. And also we do not want to be using chemical sunscreens, which the majority are. We need to be looking for very good quality mineral sunscreens, preferably non-nano, because the particle sizes are bigger, and so they can't pass through the skin and into the bloodstream. Most of them are titanium dioxide based or zinc oxide based, and we don't want to be getting tons of zinc or titanium into our bloodstream. So non-nano is the best, and find one for your face. Alternatively, you can use, there's an oil, I think it's grapeseed oil, that is very good for sun protection, but it is a bit greasy on the skin, on the face. or just wear a hat and don't get your face in the sun, because the sun is so aging to the face. I can't really stress enough how much, if you avoid sun on the face, you'll avoid a lot of the aging that goes on. The next thing is cutting out alcohol or cutting it right down. Look, there is no beneficial alcohol. There is no alcohol that anti-ages us. I get people saying to me, oh, but red wine's supposed to be full of antioxidants. So are blueberries. You could eat blueberries instead of drinking red wine. Red wine, yes, has higher antioxidants than other alcohols, but it's still poison to the body. Now, I'm not saying everybody should go teetotal. That's a personal choice. But the more you drink, the more aging it's going to be on the body. You know what? People, alcoholics, you'll know people in the, the public, or you might know in your personal life, people who either drink excessively or have had problems with alcohol, and you know how aging it is. You see it on their skin. There's no two ways around it. It is incredibly aging. So, the less you drink, the better for your body. And I'm not just talking about your face, I'm talking about your whole body. Alcohol is a poison. It has to be turned into a non-toxic substance by the liver. It means that anything else that needs to be detoxed by the liver gets pushed back because alcohol's prioritized because it's so toxic. So, somebody who's drinking 2 or 3 glasses every weekend on both nights, not a good idea if you're wanting to avoid the aging part of it. The next one is sleep. Sleep deprivation is so aging. Now, I know some people will say, well, I can't sleep. And, you then have got to really dig into or get some help as to why you can't sleep. There is always lots of reasons why people can't sleep. It could be that you've got blood sugar issues. It could be that you're lacking progesterone if you're going through perimenopause or menopause. It could be that you are lacking certain minerals. It could be an issue with cortisol and melatonin. You've got to dig into what is causing it. And then it could also be copper issues, because copper is very excitatory to the brain. And I see that a lot. But sleep is so important. And it's not just the quantity of sleep, it's the quality of sleep as well. I love people to use a tracker. Some people don't like to use them, but I really like people to use a tracker because they are really good for telling you what quality of sleep you're getting. Now, you mustn't get obsessive about it, but often you'll see that you actually slept better than you thought you did because you had a fair amount of light sleep, which you probably thought you weren't asleep. That often happens. But also you'll be able to see how many hours you're getting, how deep your sleep is, what your REM sleep is like, and then you can make adjustments accordingly. So it is really good idea. I use a ring to track. I've got a tracking ring, but you can also use, Fitbits and things like that as well. If you struggle with sleep and you want to know more about what you can do, I did a recent Menopause Matters live, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think, on sleep, the whole topic of sleep, and you'll find it on my YouTube channel, or if you go into my Facebook group, if you're in my Facebook group, Take Control of Your Menopause and Mojo, then you will find Take Control of Your Menopause Fatigue and Mojo, then you'll find the video there. If you can't find it, message me and I will send you the link to the YouTube one and you can watch it. So sleep, really important for if you want to avoid the body's aging. Exercise is the next one. It goes without saying that people who exercise just look younger. Okay, if you think about all the people that you know that do exercise and don't exercise, the ones that do, the ones that have some muscle, the ones that, keep active are going to stay looking younger than those that don't. Look at the older generations of people that you can really clearly see who does and doesn't exercise. Now, the one proviso is that people who over-exercise, or people that do, like marathon runners, for example, marathon runners and people who do excessive cardio over and over raise their cortisol levels, very, very aging. And you'll notice that they get very premature aging, especially on their face, and their skin gets very saggy and wrinkly. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who do, normal amounts of exercise, weights, walking, yoga, Pilates, swimming, those kinds of things. That is what we all need to be doing. Um, Weights are really good for helping us maintain our shape. Muscle makes us look younger. At the end of the day, if you like, there are women, there's so many women now, if you look on Instagram, for example, women who have got channels or pages who are in their 60s and even 70s. There's a woman who's in her 70s. She started weightlifting, I think at 61 or something, and she has got the most amazing body, and she looks so young compared to others of the same age. Doing weights, if you've got the energy to do it. The one thing I will say, and I said this last week when I did a whole video on exercise, which if you missed it, go back and watch that as well. That's on YouTube and in my Facebook group as well. The thing with exercise, I've lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I can't remember. It's just gone. But muscle makes you look much younger. I've got brain fog. Muscle makes you look much younger. And also, of course, it will be good for your bones as well. And as we are women aging, going through menopause, we need to be really cautious of our bone density as well. So it's a win-win. If you missed that video on exercise last week, make sure you go and watch it. If you can't find it, message me and I will very happily share it with you. The next one is diet. Diet, of course, has a huge impact on our body and aging. Junk food is aging. Seed oils are aging. What am I talking about with seed oils? I'm talking about sunflower oil and rapeseed oil and all these horrible oils that are in so much food. If you look at your crisps, if you look at your biscuits, if you look at your cakes, they all have seed oils in. They're never organic, they're never cold pressed, they are machine extracted, highly toxic, very inflammatory to the body. If you just cut those out of your diet, you'll see the difference. And so, you've really got to be cautious of what you're eating. Prepared foods that you buy from the supermarket aren't always going to have stuff in them that the body is not going to know what it is and doesn't want. The more you cook from scratch, you make things from scratch, the better. But get looking at the labels as well and look what's in things, check it out. Make sure that you're not consuming all these chemicals and God knows what that the food industry is allowed to put into our food and that we really do not want and the body doesn't want, and it's aging. Anything that's inflammatory to the body is going to be aging. It ages our cells throughout our whole body, not just our skin. Antioxidants are anti-aging, and are you getting enough of those? You've got to ask yourself, where are you getting your antioxidants from? They protect us from what we call free radicals, oxidants, which oxidize in the body and cause damage. Things like dark green leafy vegetables, berries, cruciferous vegetables, nuts and seeds, all really good for antioxidants and anti-aging. So are you eating enough of those, or are you a bit low in those areas, and could you increase them? Okay, I'm going to take a breather. The next one is nutrients. So obviously diet is one thing, but nutrients. There are certain nutrients that are really important for skin health, and certain ones that we need to make sure we're getting enough of in our diet. And also, if you mineral test, you can actually supplement it correctly to help improve every aspect of your health, not just your skin and your aging. But I don't recommend anybody supplementing minerals and vitamins unless they know that it's safe and they know that they need them, because you can cause more imbalances. But the ones that we need to be getting, we can get it from our food as well, is vitamin A. It's known as retinol. It's essential for skin health. It supports cell turnover. and it aids in the production of collagen. So really important. Vitamin C as well, powerful antioxidant that helps protect the skin from damage caused by free radicals. You can actually get vitamin C serums, which are really good for protecting your skin when you go out in the kind of, the daytime. But eating enough vitamin C is also really important. But it's also really important for collagen synthesis as well. And it helps to maintain firmness and elasticity. So vitamin A, vitamin C, another one is vitamin E. It's another antioxidant. It's a fat-soluble vitamin. It helps protect the skin from damage by UV radiation. It helps moisturize the skin and it supports healing. So that is another one that's really important. Vitamin D. While primarily known for its role in bone health, vitamin D's also got a really big importance for the skin health, helps regulate cell growth and repair, and it can help reduce inflammation in the skin as well. Again, as I repeat, I'll repeat myself, from the sun is much better. I'm not a fan of supplementing loads of vitamin D, contrary to what loads of people say, and I have very, very strong science-backed reasons why. But I do love the sun in the right amounts on the skin for vitamin D. And you can also get it from certain foods like eggs. The egg yolk's really good for vitamin D as well. Zinc is really important for wound healing as well. It helps to regulate the oil production in the skin, and it can reduce acne. So that's another one. And then you've got selenium, a mineral that lots of women are lacking. It's an antioxidant mineral. It helps protect the skin from UV radiation as well. Also really important for the thyroid. But again, I don't agree with people just randomly going and supplementing it unless they know they need it, because you can cause more imbalances in the body. And then we've got omega-3 fatty acids. So my preference is fish oil. I don't recommend people eat loads of oily fish unless you're eating sardines and mackerel and very small ones. Unfortunately, salmon is incredibly toxic, and so farmed salmon, and majority of salmon that you get is farmed salmon. I won't touch it. If you look into it, you can just do a search online. There's loads of articles about it. It is so toxic because of the way it's farmed in these big barrels that they need to use tons of antibacterials and antivirals and antibiotics. God knows what, and goes into the fish, and then you're eating it. Really, really bad. One of the most toxic foods there is. But oily fish, little ones, sardines and things that are caught wild, they are great. But if you don't want to do that, then a good fish oil supplement, a very clean one that hasn't got heavy metals in it, and making sure that it's got a good balance of DHA and EPA in that fish oil is, I advise everybody to take a fish oil, basically, because nobody really gets enough essential fatty acids from their diet unless they eat a ton of fish, and it's not easy to do. And then we've got stress. So stress, if you think about times when you've been really stressed, I think back to the year when my dad died, and then I went through a very, very stressful situation related to that. And I looked about 10 years older, I swear. I looked so much older. My, fine lines, and I just looked drawn and awful. And it was the stress. I had cortisol pumping through my body constantly until my adrenals gave up the ghost and they couldn't produce any anymore. And that's when I crashed. But when I was going through that, it was incredibly stressful on my whole body, my skin, everything. I really felt like I aged. Now, I feel like I've managed to reverse that, but I've had to work really hard at it. But stress is a really hard thing on the body. And the more that you can, like, obviously things like losing a parent or, anybody else is stress that you can't avoid, and you can't dictate how you're going to respond to it. But there's lots of stresses in our lives that we we react to them when we don't need to. It's how you respond to stress personally is going to be, you know, stress comes from outside of us, not from within us. And sorry, stress comes from within us, not outside of us. It's our perception of anything that causes the stress. It's our thoughts about it. Now, I did training as a coach in this, but I'm not going to go into it in detail now. What I will say is that there's a fabulous book if you want to learn more about this and how to see the difference in how to perceive stress. It's called The Inside Out Revolution by Michael Neal. I recommend it to lots of clients. I love it. Really good book. Very worth it if you struggle with feeling like the world is on your shoulders. Definitely worth a read. And then things like, you know, meditation, listening to binaural beats music, tapping, if you know what that is. I won't go into what it is now, but look it up. Whatever works for you to help to bring that stress under control is going to have a really positive impact on your body. And then finally, the infrared sauna is the last thing I want to bring in. Everything else is pretty much free, right? You know, I have everything I've talked about, cutting down on alcohol, sorting your sleep out, you know, cutting out down on stress, etc. However, one thing that I have started to use, and there is a ton of research on it, if you want to go and look it up, is infrared saunas. And there's different types, different ones do different things for the body. Some target the skin, some target much deeper. You can get like sauna sleeping bags that you climb into. You can get proper pop-up saunas. You can get ones that just target parts of your body. You can get face ones. I'm actually trialing a face one at the moment. I've only been using it for a week, so I can't say, you know, what the results are yet, but I will let you know. But you know, I do think that there is a lot to be said for the research into infrared saunas. So you need to do your research. I'm not going to recommend any. The one that I've got, I can't recommend because it's not available in shops. It's only available to salons, etc. But there are ones that you can get online. Yeah, I think that infrared is one thing that can be very powerful, anti-aging for the whole body, not just the skin, but it works for the skin as well. All right. I'm going to leave it there today. I hope that was helpful. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, please like wherever you're watching this. Please share it. Please follow me so that you get alerted when I do new stuff. I'm sharing things all the time. I will be back here, same time, same place, next Thursday, 12:30 p.m. I haven't decided what the topic is yet, so I can't share it today, but I will post it and let you know as soon as I know. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.